In a quiet village surrounded by thick forests and fertile land, life moved gently like a calm river. The people woke each morning to the songs of birds and went to sleep under the soft glow of the moon. Their farms were green, their rivers were full, and laughter echoed through the village every evening. It was a place where peace lived among the people. But one morning, that peace was broken. A loud cry rang through the village square. The sacred staff of the chief, an object believed to carry the blessing and protection of the gods, had disappeared. The air quickly turned heavy with fear. The villagers gathered, whispering among themselves. No one knew who had taken it, but everyone knew something terrible could happen if it was not found. Fear soon turned into suspicion. Without careful thought or proper proof, the elders pointed their fingers at a quiet man named Kofi. He was known to keep to himself, speaking little and living a simple life. To some, his silence made him seem strange. To others, it made him an easy target. Kofi stood before the crowd, confused and afraid. "I know nothing about this," he said, his voice shaking. "Please, you must believe me." But the villagers were no longer listening. Fear had taken control of their hearts. They believed that punishing someone, anyone, would calm the anger of the gods and restore peace. Kofi fell to his knees, begging for mercy. His eyes searched the faces around him, hoping someone would see the truth. But all he saw were hardened expressions and closed hearts. Then came the decision that would change everything. At the edge of the forest, under a dark and silent sky, the villagers carried out their judgment. They buried Kofi alive. His cries filled the air at first, desperate and painful, then slowly faded into silence. The earth covered him, and with him, the truth was buried too. For a moment, the village felt still again, but not for long. Days passed, then weeks. Slowly, the land began to change. The rain stopped falling. The once rich soil cracked under the heat of the sun. Crops withered and died before they could be harvested. The rivers shrank, their waters pulling away like life itself was leaving the land. Then came the sickness. It spread quietly at first, then quickly took hold. The young grew weak. The old could no longer stand. One by one, people began to die. The laughter that once filled the village was replaced with cries of sorrow. The villagers were afraid, truly afraid. They gathered once more, this time not in anger, but in desperation. It was then that the oldest priest in the land stepped forward. His voice was calm but heavy with truth. "The gods are not pleased," he said. "An innocent man was killed. His spirit cries out for justice. Until what was broken is made right, this suffering will not end." Silence fell over the crowd. The villagers looked at one another, and slowly the truth began to sink into their hearts. They remembered Kofi's voice, his pleas, his innocence. Tears filled their eyes. Regret came too late. They wept for the man they had wronged. They mourned the peace they had destroyed with their own hands. But no matter how much they cried, no matter how deeply they regretted their actions, Kofi was gone, and with him, their blessing. From that day on, the story of Kofi was never forgotten. It was told from one generation to another, carried by the voices of elders to the ears of children sitting around the fire at night. And the lesson remained clear. Never judge without truth, because injustice does not go unpunished.